Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Joppy Noodle Legs here today. Today I've got another Noodle film review. Today I'm looking at 1981's Southern Comfort. Right, so this edition here it's a bit of a sort of standard edition by I believe it's by Second Sight, and it just sort of comes as a normal sort of Blu-ray disc. So that's what it comes as, but it's made by Second Sight. Synopsis of the film. It starts off basically it starts off in the Louisiana swamps, and there's a group of sort of soldiers there, and they're all there just to start doing some normal sort of training. So this is where we get introduced to a few of the soldiers.
Well, not liking the Texas Guard makes sense. Not liking the Louisiana Guard can get you into trouble with me. You got that? Good. You get your butt on over the second squad, you'll recon with them. Casper, show them the way. Introduce them to the boys. Right.
So now that's some of the soldiers, and because it is just a training exercise, they're just sort of like going to be sort of like walking for miles and finding their way out of sort of like the swamp sort of thing. So they don't have anything with them and no real ammo. They're just sort of carrying blank ammunition.
See what I mean? We have a long, noble military tradition. Hey, Casper!
So then they head out. This platoon that we sort of got to know a little bit in the beginning of the film, they head out with like their sort of captain and their sergeant and their sort of soldiers and stuff like that. So they head out into the swamps, and then all of a sudden, in about a minute or two of going out, they're already lost.
Coordinate. Either this map is wrong, or all of a sudden I can't find my way around the block. The channel must have shifted with the winter rains.
Then they come across this house with like sort of fish and dead animals and stuff, obviously been hunted down, and there's some canoes there, and they have a little bit of argument about taking them. Some saying, yeah, let's take them and we can sort of like go across and try and find our way out that way. Others are like, no, you know, they don't belong to us, so we shouldn't take them. But in the end they decide to take the canoes. Now they're out on their boats. This is when the film starts to sort of kick off a bit, because we get to see for the very first time on the riverbank the sort of first sight of like the Cajun sort of people that are living in the swamp area.
There they are. These must be their canoes. Understand. I hope they find my note.
Maybe they only speak French. Well, does anybody speak French?
Yeah.
Please knock that shit off.
So you now know that there's like a Cajun sort of community living in the swamp area, and they're not too happy that these soldiers have come into their area because they think it's theirs. So they're not too happy that they're in there, and they actually, because of that stupid soldier firing those blanks, they then retaliate and fire back, but they fire back with a real bullet and they shoot the captain in the head. So what they do next is that obviously they all panic, and all the canoes sort of like all tip over into the water, and they all come onto the shore, and then they're starting to try and hide and look out for these Cajun civilians.
Jesus Christ, what's happening? It's just in the water. I don't know. I can't see him. Hey, get down, man. Ooh, take it cool.
You take care of it. I'm gonna go there and look out for him.
Come on.
Anyway, so as soon as they're back on shore again and they can't find the civilians, and they decide to, some of them wanted to leave the captain there and just leave him there, obviously, because he's dead, and they're having to carry like a body around them. But then they decide to take them with, and so they carry on with their journey. And this is when they all start falling out with one another, and you can start seeing sort of rivalries between each other start to emerge, because obviously they're lost. They're a bit scared, I suppose, because they don't have any. They've got minimum. They do have some ammo with them, but it's just one of the soldiers has one round, and he has to share the bullets out reluctantly with all the other soldiers. He didn't want to do it, but they've all got like 2 real bullets each. But they still go sort of like trying to find their way out of this swamp, as they're still lost.
Not if we go east, the interstate's north.
Fuck you, Spencer. The fuck you know.
I know there's a big fireball in the sky that usually rises to the east, and we're walking right into it.
You gotta go east to go north. Yeah, right.
Close to run that by me one more time. We got to go where to go with.
Look, somebody figure out where the hell we're going and do it quick.
Pardon? Shut up. My responsibility, we're going east to get north. Go ahead and do what you want, Zip. Exactly what the hell I'm going to do, Spencer. Now let's move your asses. Come on.
And as I said, that they're starting to sort of like fall out of one another, and some of them are coming a little bit mad and a little bit crazy, and one of the guys just stops talking to everyone. He just goes absolutely mad, because they come across a Cajun in his own little house, and they take him prisoner to try and find their way out. And and this sort of prisoner is watching the soldiers sort of fall out with one another, and eventually 2 of them have a big fight, and the prisoner, they got the Cajun guy, gets away and escapes. 2 of them have a big fight, and one of them stabs the other one with a knife and kills him. So they're sort of turning on each other, and you can sort of see the sort of like the sort of craziness kicking in with them, and it doesn't help because the weather starts to change.
We've had 3 casualties. We're not going to have any more. Survival is a mental outlook. Now, if you're not prepared mentally to overcome all obstacles and hardships, the chances of your coming out alive are greatly reduced.
We're getting tired of listening to all this, Casper.
Oh, God damn you, Spencer. I'm trying to do my best.
I know we are, Casper. But quoting the manual to us isn't helping much.
You think you could do any better?
Yeah, I do.
But I'm the team leader. You're not even a corporal. You're just a PFC. Hey, I'm getting tired of this damn crap.
So as the story progresses, you start losing more and more of the soldiers, some to themselves, others to booby traps that are set in the swamps, and obviously from some of the Cajun people that are in there that are still hunting these soldiers down. So that sort of carries on, and it gets down to where you're left to 2 soldiers, and they get, well, I'll tell you what, I will stop telling you the synopsis there, because I don't want to spoil the sort of like the last sort of 20 minutes of the film, where, you know, so I'll leave that for you to find out. that is a synopsis. So basically, it's about soldiers going training in the Louisiana swamps. There's occasion sort of people living in that swamp who believe it belongs to them and don't like anybody going in it. So I suppose they're sort of defending where they live, and these soldiers don't have any sort of ammunition or whatever to fight back. So it's like a survival uh, cat and mouse sort of film, horror film. It is a horror film. What do I think of the film? I really enjoyed it. I love this film. You may remember it's in my gems of the cinema because it's a really good film and it just doesn't really get sort of like talked about or anything. But it's a great movie. You know, it's like a sort of cross between Apocalypse Now and sort of Deliverance, if you like. It's kind of like sort of between those two sort of films. But it's a great horror film. It's like a really eerie sort of survival horror film, and you just really you kind of feel for the soldiers because it's like they're there and they're just doing their training. They don't know nothing that they, about these people living in the swamps. So they've come across them out of accident, and like I said, it all kicked off because one of the soldiers was playing a prank on them on the riverbank and shooting blanks, so that they obviously thought they were shooting real bullets. So they started to try to protect themselves. But yeah, it's it's and it so then it's like a hunting sort of film, horror film, where these cages are hunting down the soldiers, um, and they all sort of go a little bit mad and you know, start on one another. You'd see the sort of like they stop being soldiers and become more like mercenaries and sort of like trying to figure a way out and look out for just one, eat one another, not each other as a team, but you know, they're just looking out for themselves. So that's the sort of film that's really cool. The positives, and now the transfer on this film is fantastic. It looks stunning. It looks really, really cool. Absolutely loved it. I love the story. I think it's a fantastic horror film. Um, I love the settings. The setting was amazing. It looks stunning. What a beautiful place. Great photography in there. Really, really cool. And the whole film just looks awesome. Um, and I like the characters. I thought they were played really well. A really good film. Um, and I liked some of the kills. Most of the kills were sort of like gunshots, but there was some sort of you do get a bit of gore in that. There would have been nice a bit more sort of a different type of kills in there, and a bit more gore. But there we go. So, but as a whole, the film is fantastic. Negatives, there's a couple of negatives. Like I said, first of all, it would have been cool if it was a bit more gorier. The goriest bit is the only bit of the film I don't like, and that's because there's a little bit of animal cruelty in it. Now, when I say it's animal cruelty, now the Cajun sort of villages that they sort of hunt down their own animals and they kill them and eat them. So, in a sense, it's not cruelty in the sense that these animals are being killed for film purposes. It's because they did it anyway. So there's a couple of shootings of a couple of uh, wild boar pigs in there, which is the only bit I didn't like, and it was quite gory. And so that's the only sort of bit of the film I didn't like. But if you look at Apocalypse Now, they had that in that as well when they sacrificed that cow, if you remember right. So it's not like they did it for the film. It was being done anyway because it was filmed in like that bit was filmed in like a Cajun sort of village. Um, so, but there we are. That's the only real negative I didn't like about the film, and it does take it away from it a little bit, and it leaves a mark in your mind, thinking, "Oh no, please don't." So when I knew it was happening, I shut my eyes, so I didn't actually see it, but I knew it happened, and I just thought, "Oh no." So that's the only real negative about the film. So I'm gonna score this as a awesome watch, and I'm gonna score it 8 out of 10. Really cool film. It would have probably got a 9 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 if there wasn't that sort of animal sort of thing there. I just don't think there was no need to have shown that. But they decided, the directors, to put that in, which again I could understand. I suppose they were trying to show that this is how these people live, and this is the way they are. That they are quite a brutal sort of people, so they don't really have, But there we are. It just that bit just took it a little away from me. But I'm still scoring this an 8 out of 10 because the film, apart from that little bit, was fantastic. Really, really cool. It's a film you really should watch, guys. It's a real gem of a movie. Love it. Awesome film. Anyway, guys, that is my review of Southern Comfort. Really cool. Really good film. It's great. It's great to have this. I love this box. I love this sort of grey sort of box. That's really, really cool. So there we go. I told you in my gems video I'll give you a review of this. So I am going to be doing another review very shortly of the other one that I spoke of in that's Cape Fear. I'll be looking at that and giving you a little review of that as well. So anyway, yeah, so have any of you guys seen Southern Comfort? If you have, write down below, let me know what you thought of it. It's a great movie. It's a really cool movie. Don't be put off by that little thing where the pigs are slaughtered, because that's been done in so many films. It's not like Cannibal Holocaust, where they were actually killed purposely for that film, and they were killed for no reason whatsoever. That's different. That's real animal cruelty. This is just showing the slaughtering of that animal. So, but it shouldn't really put you off of the actual movie. It's a really great movie. It's a great horror film. Anyway, guys, when you get a chance, check out some other channels for me. There's the Horror Geek. There's Horror Hands. There's Man v Film. There's Pizzawell channel. His is great. Check out Sarah of Horror, RS Designs, and Horror and Todge. All these are really cool channels, guys. Please go and check them out. Until next time, please look after yourselves and look after one another. And I really hope that I'll see you all soon.